Welcome everyone. In this video, let's look into the day 1 of the foundation course. This day 1 course is divided into 10 sections. In that, now let's just look into the section 1, which is your Naadi landing page. So right after you typed in the credentials we provided you, this is the page that will open up. We call it as landing page. In this landing page, you have 3 important windows. First one is your My Project, second one is your Personal Library, and third one is your Settings. In that, first let's just look into your My Projects window. My Projects window is the window where all the projects which you created so far in this login will be visible and you can access it. Where the most recent projects will be at the first and your previous projects will be at the last. And all these projects will be saved in pages so that I can precisely access that page and you can access that file as well. And for all the projects, you will see the flow plan of the project as a thumbnail. You will see the name of the project and the timestamp. Timestamp represents when was the project recently accessed. In addition to these informations, you will have something called project details under 3-dot menu for all the projects. If you click on project detail, this will hold some important informations about the project, such as your visualization based informations, your project name and your project address. If you have taken any panorama renders for this project, it will be visible here. If you have taken any perspective renders, it will be available. If you have taken any video renders for this project, it will be accessible here. It will also mention the flow plan of the project here. You can have a glance. And if you have taken any 720 VR renders for this project, it will also be visible. From this window itself, you will be able to access the renders. You will be able to share the renders and you can even delete the renders as well. In addition to your visualization based outputs, on the top here, you have a 3-dot menu. If you click it, there you will see something known as edit project information. If you click it, here you can type in the name of the project and I can type in the address of the project as well. Remember, the information what you're typing here will eventually be updated in your drawing sheets. So it is better that you type in all this information before starting up with the project. Once you typed in, click on confirm and your project information will be saved. Right next to the project details, you have a 3-dot menu. If you place your cursor, this will hold some important tools regarding projects. In that, the first tool is your sharing, using which you will be able to share a file from one login to another login. Let's just say that you want to share this file to another login. Click on share option. This will open up your share window. And when it comes to file sharing in this tool, you have 3 types of file sharing. One is called anyone with the link can view, anyone with the link can duplicate, and anyone with the link can edit. Let's just say that you would like to share a project using the first type, anyone with the link can view. Once you selected it up, here the URL will be generated. You can copy this generated URL manually and you can paste it to another person, or you can click on this copy link button. Now the link is copied successfully. Now we can paste it to another person, and that person who has that link can only view at the renders which you have taken for the project, your panorama renders, perspective renders and the 720 renders. That person can't access the project or the file. Let's just say that you select the second option, anyone with the link can duplicate. And now if you copy this link and share it to that person, where that person can create a copy of your file and he can edit it separately in his login. Any edit which that person does won't affect your source file. Then comes in your last type of sharing, which is anyone with the link can edit. And now if you selected it, copy the link and share it to that person can literally get inside your project and make all the edits. Any edit which that person does will eventually be updated in your source file as well. So if you're sharing a file to a person, I would always recommend you to share it with duplicate option so that your source file won't be affected. Or if you're sharing it to a trusted person, you can select the edit option, copy the link and share it to the person. In addition to this, any link what you're sharing will be valid permanently. But if you like to set an expiration time for that link, here you have something called valid period. In default, it will be permanent. You can change it to 30 days, 7 days or 24 hours. After the specified time, the link will automatically expire. In addition to this, if you like to encrypt the file, click on this need password so that it will generate a password. Now you have to share this password along with the link so the person can access the file. So this is what when it comes to file sharing in this tool. Now let's look into the second tool here, which is rename. Using this, you can completely rename the file. Click it. It will ask you to type in the new name and click on confirm. The name will be saved. Then comes in move to. Using this tool, you will be able to move a project from one folder to another folder and organize it precisely. The fourth tool here is duplicate. Using this, you'll be able to create a copy of this file in your login itself and you can work on it. This will be greatly useful if you're working on iteration, where you created your source file, and now if you like to try with another iteration where you can click on duplicate, it will ask you to type in the name of the duplicated file and you can continue with your second iteration. And the last tool here is delete. Using this, you'll be able to delete this file. Now let's just look into the second window here, which is your personal library. Personal library represents your personal library of models and textures for that login. In other words, this is the window where you can upload your models or textures. Let's just say that you would like to upload your 3D model. In that case, make sure you click on this model tab. And here, can you see all the models which you've so far uploaded in your projects will be visible here, where each model will have the view, name and the timestamp when was that model uploaded. And this imported model will also be saved in pages. That way you can precisely select the page and the file as well. Now, if you like to upload a model, on the top right here, you have something called upload models. Click it. This will open up your upload window, where you can just drag and drop that 3D model, or you can just click on upload model. This will open up your browse window. Now navigate to the folder where you have that model to import. Once you selected the model, click on open. That specific model will be uploaded. And while it's in the uploading phase, you can type in other essential and mandatory informations. First one is the name. In default, it will take the file name as the model name as well, but if you want, you can rename it here. In addition to that, you have something called model category here. Remember, if you are uploading any model, you have to set a category and the subcategory under which that model falls in. If I click this up, can you see you have all the categories and the subcategories and the different sections. In my case, it is a dining table, so it would fall under furniture category, table subcategory, and I can select the tables. It is better that you're aware of your category and subcategory. If not, you always have something known as others. You can blindly select it as well. So once you selected your model category, then comes in your location category. Here in this tool, if you take any model and place it in your project, in default, it will snap to a surface. It would either snap to your floor, wall or ceiling, and that surface snapping is decided by this location category. If you click it here, you will see something known as floor furniture, ceiling lighting, wall decor, door, window, ceiling and ceiling appliance. Depending on what you're selecting here, the snapping will happen. In this, I'll just give you one important tip. If you're importing a model that has to do with your ceiling, that could be your lighting fixture, that could be your ceiling molding, ceiling decoratives, or it could even be your ceiling appliance. Only on those cases, you can select ceiling light, ceiling or ceiling appliance. If you are importing a 3D model of a door, then select door. If you are importing a 3D model of a window, then select window. Apart from these scenarios, for all the other models, I would recommend you to please select floor furniture itself. Even for the ceiling component, you can even select floor furniture. Only thing is that if you place that model in your project, instead of snapping to the ceiling, it default snap to the floor. Then you can move it and place it in your ceiling. In my case, it is a dining table, which is eventually a floor furniture. So I'm selecting it. Once that is done, your submit button will be visible. You can click it. So your models will be uploaded. And now if you click on check models, your uploaded models will be visible here. Here, while uploading a 3D model, there are certain requirements which need to be considered. In this demo, I would have shown you how we can import a single 3D model. But if you want, you can import up to 20 different 3D models at a time. In this browse window, instead of selecting one model, you can hold shift in your keyboard and multi-select your models, and you can upload 20 models at a time as well. Another requirement here is, Each model you are importing should not exceed 200 MB. The third requirement is, in the demo I would have imported a SketchUp model. That way you can even import your max file, FBX or a GBL model. In case you are importing a max file, make sure that specific file is archived. If it is archived, where the model and its respective textures will be saved in a zip file or a RAR file, and you can directly select or import that zip or RAR file. You don't have to unzip it and bring it here. The tool itself will automatically unzip it. It will relate its respective textures with the model. If you are importing a SketchUp model, you don't have to worry about it. SketchUp model in default will have all the textures built in, so you can directly select the file and import. Your textures will precisely be transferred to your imported models. Now let's just look into how we can import a texture. For that, click on the textures tab here. This will open up your texture import window, where all the textures which you've imported so far will be visible here, and each texture will have its image, will have the name and the timestamp when was that texture imported. And all these textures will also be saved in pages, so that I can precisely select the page and the file. Now if you like to import a texture here, on the top you have something called upload textures. Click it. This will open up your upload window, where I can drag and drop the image file of the texture, or I can just click on upload from computer, where this will open up your browse window. Now we can navigate to the folder where you have that texture, and once you select a texture, at the bottom you have something called open. Click it. This will upload that selected texture, and while the texture is uploading, here you can type in some essential and mandatory information. In that, first one is the name. In default it will take the file name as the texture name as well, but if you want you can precisely rename it, so that it will be easy for you to navigate and access. Second one will be your material category. Just like how you had model category for model import, you have a material category for a material import here. If you click it, this will have some list of categories and subcategories. You can precisely select it based on the texture what you are importing. In my case, this falls under ceramic tile category, in that cement tile subcategory. If you are aware of the category and subcategory of your model, it's well and good. If not, you always have others option, you can select it. Then comes in your texture category here. If you click it, this will have some list of texture category. In this, select the category which is appropriate to the texture you are importing. And the fourth and the important process when it comes to texture import is your mapping dimension. Here in this tool, if you are importing any textures, you should be at least approximately be aware of the length and width of the texture. In my case here, I have no clue what is the length and width of this texture, but I know what is the dimension of this single tile here. This is a 2 × 3 feet tile, using which I'll be able to precisely calculate this entire length as 6 feet and this entire width as 6 feet. So here I can type in 6 feet × 6 feet. Remember my unit here is in mm, so I can type in mm, 1800 × 1800. Once you typed in the mapping dimension, now your upload textures will be visible. Click it, your texture will be uploaded. In this window, just click on check textures. Your uploaded texture will be visible here. And here also, if you're uploading a texture, there are certain important requirements which you should be aware of. In this demo, I would have uploaded just one single texture, but if you want, you can upload 20 textures at a time. In this browse window, instead of selecting one textures, you can hold shift and you can multi-select 20 textures, and you can just click on open. All the textures will be uploaded simultaneously. But remember, for all those textures, you should select the material category, texture category and mapping dimension. Only then you'll be able to upload. Another requirement here is the file size. If you are importing any texture here, make sure that specific texture is less than 5 MB. And the allowed format for the texture import is either your JPEG or PNG format. And a gentle reminder here is, so once your model and textures are imported here, this will be available for you to use in any of your projects. Now let's just look into the third window here, which is settings. Under settings, you have something called customization. Click it, and this will open up your customization window. in customization window, there are two things which need to be precisely done. One is your general setting, another one is your usage preference. Under general settings, you have something known as watermark. Remember, if you're logging it for the first time, you will see that you will have a Naadi watermark. And the watermark what you're seeing here will eventually be updated in all your renders. Your perspective renders, your panorama renders, and your 720 renders. So right after you got in your login, make sure that the watermark is updated. You should be able to update the watermark for your noun training licenses. For that, place your cursor on the watermark, and at the bottom you will see something known as update. Click on the update button, and now your preview window will open. Here at the bottom you have something called change image. Click it. Now this will open up your browse window. Navigate to the folder where you have your organization logo. Select that logo. Click on open. Now that selected logo will be uploaded and it will show you a preview of it. If you are okay with the output, just click on save. Your watermark will be saved. The second tab here is your usage preference, where you can change the project units. In default, all your projects will be in but if you want, you can either change it to metric, or you can even change it to your imperial units, your inches and your feet and inches. Depending on your requirement, you can precisely select it. So with this, your section 1 of the day 1 is completed.